Just because you create something doesn't mean you have to fuck it. We saw Cool World, so you know what that means.
Now it's time for How Did This Get Made? We're gonna have a good time, celebrate some failure, not just be a hater, cause you know you wonder, how did this get made? Let's wallow in the mediocrity of subpar art. Perhaps we'll find the answer to the question, how did this get made?
Hello, people of Earth, and welcome to How Did This Get Made? I am Tall John Shear. This is another quarantine edition of the pod. Today we are talking about Cool World, and Cool World is a movie that really defies any rational explanation. We're going to get into it, but basically, cartoons want to get into the real world. Cartoons are called doodles. Humans are called noids. And if you have sex with a cartoon, they become real. Anyway, it's a real big mess. I'm not even sure I understand what I saw, but to help me break it down, let me introduce my co-host, Mr. Jason Mantzoukas. How are you, Jason?
You know, Paul, having just watched this movie, I don't know if it is the quarantine or the fact that I haven't seen another person or touched a human being in 2 months, but I'll not lie, I got pretty horny for these cartoons.
I mean, you really like that cigar chomping partner of Brad Pitt.
Nails?
Yeah.
Nail! I'll fuck Nails.
Before we go any further, let me introduce someone who I think got a lot of laughs out of this movie because I heard her enjoying it quite a lot. Please welcome Miss June Diane Raphael. How are you, June?
Hi, Paul. I'm okay. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you dealing in this quarantine?
I'm doing okay. It's actually just thinking, it really is, I don't know, just a very quick shout out to all the people who are not quarantining because they have to go to work.
Yes.
Right now. I just keep on, as hard as this is what we're doing, and it's really hard. It is just amazing to me to see so many people obviously doing the frontline work, but also just delivering and doing all of the essential work right now. I'm just very appreciative, and it truly is a privilege to be able to shelter at home. But so I am doing okay.
Well, I mean, do you think it's a privilege to shelter at home and get a chance to watch Cool World? I mean, that's really the question.
I mean, it's like being on vacation. Listen, I don't know what happened last night. And I was actually thinking about Who Framed Roger Rabbit, which I do think had a profound effect on me as a youngster, that movie. And I felt like my fond memories of that movie were violated.
But now,
because this movie is so overtly much more sexual, or why? Do you feel like this movie is an attack on that movie?
Yes, I loved Who Framed Roger Rabbit, and I thought it was so great, and I just enjoyed the hell out of it. And this movie, to me, was so terrible, so underwritten, I will, we'll get into it, but I did think Kim Basinger was a ray of light.
Yeah, you were getting some solid laughs off of Kim's performance.
I LOL'd.
Well, here's the thing about this movie, and I alluded to it in the beginning. This movie was pitched as a hard R film. So the original pitch, according to Ralph Bakshi, was basically the concept was a cartoon and live action human have sex. They conceive a hybrid child who visits the real world to murder the father who abandoned her. That was the original pitch. And then we get this movie. Now that's at least an understandable pitch. This movie it's hard to parse what's going on.
Ralph Bakshi, who made this, is somebody who is like comes out of adult animation. He made the Lord of the Rings animated feature in the 70s. He made Fritz the Cat. Like he comes out of a time when adult R-rated animation, like heavy metal and stuff like that, exists. Like it's not like they were trying to make an animated kids movie. that had all this sex in it. I think that's the mistake that, like people had, which was, oh, it's an animated movie, so it's a kid's movie. But this is, my understanding, began intended for adults the same way that, heavy metal might be.
I don't even know. I mean, the human world is grotesque. The doodle world is grotesque. It's all so unappealing.
And none of them seem to be, none of the major characters seem to be, with the exception of Gabriel Byrne having created Cool World, the comic, and so created Holli Would and all this stuff. Nobody seems interrelated, really. No, like, I don't understand who means what to who. I don't understand who are the good guys and the bad guys. I don't understand the stakes of this movie. I don't understand the rules.
I don't understand why Brad Pitt is there at all. I have no idea why he's been sent to Cool World.
Well, let's just walk it back and just say that there's a big problem with this movie in the sense that Cool World was created by Gabriel Byrne, but Cool World existed decades before Gabriel Byrne created it, because that's the world that Brad Pitt was sucked into after he'd come home from World War II and was in a horrible motorcycle accident with his mother. So,
mustn't Gabriel Byrne have created Cool World prior to that?
No way. That's in 1942. Like, there's no way. And they actually say in the film, I think Doc Whiskers says, we were here way before you created us.
Well, wait, was Doc Whiskers created by Gabriel Byrne?
Well, I think that Cool World is Gabriel Byrne's creation in which these characters live, but yet it seems like he's just tapped into something that's in the ether because Cool World exists.
Wait.
But
so you think...
Who made Doc Whiskers?
Doc Whiskers, I think, is living in an alternate reality world. Yes.
No, I think you're right. So the very beginning, when Doc Whiskers escorts Brad Pitt into Cool World, I don't really remember what he said, but I feel like it was something. I feel like the idea is like, you could go here, you can go into this world, you can go into that world. Like, there's tons of doodle worlds you could go into.
Well, the doodle multiverse? I felt like Doc Whiskers says to Brad Pitt, I was trying to go into your world. You weren't supposed to come into my world. Like Doc Whiskers, when he creates the portal, between Toon World and, or Cool World rather, and reality in the 40s, when Brad Pitt has come home and is joyriding with his mother on the back of a motorcycle, helmetless, and gets into an accident, and he gets sucked straight into Cool World. And Dr. Whiskers, or Doc Whiskers, I'm not sure if he's a real doctor or if, I don't know if he's an MD.
He's a doodle doctor.
A doodle doctor.
Yeah, he's a doodle doctor.
Doodle doc. So but he says, I was trying to go to your world. I wasn't trying to pull you into my world. And then, what I couldn't figure out then is we make the time jump to the 90s, and Gabriel Byrne is in prison, right?
Which is not really touched on. He murdered someone. He is a murderer.
He's a murderer.
He murdered a man who was sleeping with his wife. That is so gentle. It's just mentioned. We don't get any sense of that. I mean, also, Gabriel Byrne, when we meet him in prison, he's released and he goes home to his house, which looks like it's been kept up fine.
Okay, here's my main, there's so many issues. How long was he sent away
Great question.
For murdering a person?
Great question.
Noid. 2 years? 1?
Yeah.
Okay, because here's the timing of it. His neighbor's daughter, that girl, whoever she is, who is obsessed with him, has such a intense connection with him. I couldn't really understand why. But how could she have known him? He must have been put away for years.
Or, see,
a decade?
I tried to figure that out as well, because I was like, why do the neighbors care so much about him? They come over unannounced in the middle of the night. Also, the mother and the daughter appear to be the exact same age, which
they look like friends.
Confounding.
No, it was, what? This was the 90s when if you were 13, you dressed like you were 37.
Maybe, but they just seemed, when she said mom, I was like, oh, I thought these were like roommates. Anyway, regardless.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell, like, was he returning to the house he'd always been in? Or was he a
Yes.
new neighbor that they got to know and like that we just didn't see off camera?
It looked to me like he pulled his car into the driveway in the same clothes that he left prison in and got right back to work drawing Cool World, the cartoon or the comic book. Because, by the way, also in this world, Cool World, the comic book is enormously popular. He goes to a comic book shop to buy his own work. The comic book shop only seems to sell Cool World comics and the whole wall.
And are we to believe that because of the setup in prison, because he has a full draftsman's table and lamp
Yes.
and everything he would need, has he been just continuing to draw the Cool World comic from prison?
Clearly,
Is he
because
allowed
he's
to
basically
profit off of his own creation while in prison for having killed someone?
he's buying the backlog.
I mean, maybe it's like an OJ situation where everything he makes goes back to
It goes. You
the
think
family of the
you
Manning
think
murdered.
there's a Ron Goldman type family scenario?
Well, I don't know, because he is living in a shack.
He's living in like a
A nice house, June.
A shack. That's a shack.
Wow, that is. If you think that is a shack, that's crazy, because he's living
Yes.
in a perfectly lovely ranch house in the valley.
No, not the valley.
Oh,
He's living
God,
on the
it's
outskirts
terrible
of
to
Vegas.
me.
The outskirts
Oh
of
yeah, the
Vegas.
outskirts of
He's-
Vegas. Yeah.
And by the way, that's 1992, but the movie starts in 1945. So then the movie really does take a big jump from 1945 to 1992 after the first 5 minutes, because Frank Harris, that's Brad Pitt's character, is escorted in there after a very upsetting opening. And I know this is not a kid's film, but it's a PG-13 movie in which they show a motorcycle getting into a head-on collision with a pair of aggressively drunk drivers, also, I guess, in the first Vegas casino. The mom and him go flying off in different directions, although the mom is not that battered for flying off a motorcycle. And he goes through a terribly upsetting bout of PTSD, thinking he's back in the war. He's calling for a medic. No medics arrive. And then he's just kind of sucked into the Cool World. And then we never know what happens or we don't see the 50 years that transpires after that. Like,
No, we just jump straight ahead, and we jump straight ahead to Gabriel Byrne in prison, drawing Holli Would in prison, and then we go into Cool World, and Brad Pitt is still there. He's been there for 50 years, and now
detective.
he's Cool World's #1 detective.
but here's the issue that I had. He could leave Cool World at any point. So why did he not leave Cool World? Like, because at one point when he decides to go
I
out,
kind of understood at the end. And it was because at the end, when he's faced with the reality of having to go back to the real world in order to get Holli Would and Gabriel, and in order to get Holli Would back, he doesn't want to go back to the real world because it means he has to face and be accountable for the killing his mother. I think
he didn't kill her though. He was like it would be one thing if he was irresponsible. He was hit.
Paul, he was irresponsible. You don't put anyone on a motorcycle without a helmet.
This is 1945, June. This is a
They
time
had
when
those funny little helmets, but they had helmets.
I think in
Those
1945
funny,
there were more
those hilarious little helmets. No.
I think there were casual
first of all, you
rules.
don't put an aging woman like that on the back of a motorcycle just for fun. Of course it was his fault. Anyone who gets on a motorcycle has a death wish. I'm so sorry.
June, I'm telling you that this is 1945. He'd just come home from the war. He loves his mother
I
so
think
much.
regardless of safety protocols, I think perhaps it is just the guilt of having
Yes.
Yeah, and he
encouraged his
should feel
mother
that guilt.
to come out for this joyride, and that it led to her death. I think.
And why was he driving that fast?
No, he wasn't. That was those other people. The drunk driver is at
He
fault.
was driving pretty fast.
We cannot lay blame at the feet of Brad Pitt here. The drunk
Thank
drivers
you,
are to
Jason.
blame.
Yes. I mean, they're so
Are you
aggressively
saying?
drunk.
Are you saying the
Of course
drunk drivers are not? Are Brad Pitt is
Listen,
not?
if you had told me he was going out for groceries and his mother happened to be in a car, I would say, of course, he should completely let this go. This is a horrible accident that happened. He got on a motorcycle with his mother.
June. In 1967.
Well, I was
that's
worried
the first,
before the accident happened that she was just going to fall off and die.
June, in 1967, that's when the government said that you needed to wear a helmet. 1967. This is 20 years before that.
They are.
Like, and it was
here's the thing.
1990.
Here's the thing.
Have some common sense.
I think you are looking at the. I agree
the
with
horn,
you, June.
knocked the fucking sense out
June,
of
I
him.
agree with you, but I think they are. He and his mother are acting period appropriate.
Appropriate. Yes.
Period
That's all I'm saying. I'm not.
appropriate, and we
Yes.
can only look at it through the lens of what would people
Thank
be doing
you.
in that era,
Yes.
and they are doing that. But the drunk
Yes.
drivers are truly the villains of this moment. I
They're
don't think we can lay
maniacs.
the death of his mother at Brad Pitt's feet because of no helmets.
Not
or,
alone. Not alone.
No helmets. Or
No.
there weren't. That just didn't exist. Like the reality
Yeah.
is, he's
Here's a
participating.
great option. Don't get on a motorcycle.
Well,
Do you ever
Did
see
that
The Great
exist
Escape?
in
You ever see The Great
1942?
Escape? The Great Escape, they're riding motorcycles with no
But I
helmets.
still
Come
think
on.
Coming at it from an emotional point of view, not a
Yes.
culpability or blame point of view, from an emotional point of view. I'm not trying to legally litigate who was wrong here. From an emotional point of view, I understand why Brad Pitt is afraid to go back to the real world and face the reality of what happened to him.
I understand
I
that,
do
but that's
too.
50 years of dealing with that guilt. 50 years. There's a weird thing going on here. To me, it seems like, I mean, why do they even need a police officer there? They're dropping anvils on things. People are milking their own breasts. Like cars are hitting people. Like, what is a police officer doing
He's
there?
also, his badge says 001 or 01.
Yes.
So he's the first Cool World police officer, which is
Doc
The only
Whiskers.
thing that's what I kept on wondering. Like, what is the letter of the law in Cool World? Like, what is he upholding?
It seems-
is he only making sure that noids don't have sex with doodles because he's the only human there?
He's the only noid. So what is he protecting
Just
anyone
has to
from?
Tell himself. Yeah, that's all he has to do.
But he's
and he's adhering to that because, correct me if I'm wrong, but he's while Holli Would, the Kim Basinger character, is represented as like the Jessica Rabbit? Like what's the character?
Hollywood she's a femme fatale in
She's
this
like
world.
the bombshell of Cool World. Is it Jessica Rabbit and Who Framed Roger Rabbit? Is that her name?
Yes.
It's just Jessica Rabbit, yeah.
But also in Cool World, there's no agreed upon animation. Like her animation is wildly different than everybody else's animation.
Oh yeah,
too.
well,
Just
that's,
FYI.
And I will say there was stuff that I liked about. I wished.
Yeah, I like that.
I
part
wished
too.
we'd lived in Cool World. Frankly, I wished we'd lived in and understood
Really?
the rules of Cool World better, because once they leave Cool World and go back into Vegas, I'm like, I don't care about any of this.
See, I disagree.
Yeah.
My favorite part of the movie was seeing Holli Would and seeing Kim Basinger like be a doodle in the real world. Like, to me, that's a movie I would watch.
You were
I
having
enjoyed
so
it.
much fun
I
at that
loved it.
point.
I wanted to see her going to Starbucks and ordering a coffee. I just wanted to see her out and about in the real world as a doodle.
She got very Southern in the real world. Like that Southern accent was kicking in the real world. Apparently, according to some of the lore around the movie, in the middle of shooting, Kim Basinger decided that she wanted to make this a children's film that she could show kids in hospitals. And so she made a very strong move to start like sanding off the edges of her character a little bit. And so I do believe that she does feel like she's in a different movie. And I feel like that's an active choice of Kim Basinger, just being like, I'm going to milk the
I thought
comedy
she was
here.
great.
She's great in My Mom's an Alien. My Stepmom's an Alien. She can play physical comedy really, really well.
I mean, let's not mince words. Kim Basinger's amazing. I mean, like there is, you'll get no arguments from. She was great in Cellular, a movie we did. She's been, and then she's not to mention like the actual movies that are Hollywood Confidential, movies that are truly
Good guys.
exceptional movies.
Yeah.
She's very talented. The juxtaposition for me here was I found the storyline when it was inside of Cool World to be easier to follow than outside of Cool World. You know,
Well, if you found it easier to follow, I want to ask you a question. So,
not that it made
is the
sense,
story-
not that it made sense, but that I just understood a little bit more the some of the rules.
A to B.
You know,
right? And I'm not asking it in a way of like, I'm not asking it in a way of like, no, Jason, you don't know what you're talking about. I'm simply asking like, I don't know if I understand it. Can you please help me? Is it the idea that Brad Pitt's number one job is to make sure that Kim Basinger doesn't fuck a noid? And has Kim Basinger been trying to bring other noids in? Because it seems like he says to her, like, I am checking in on you. I know what you're trying to do. And so she has some sort of magical powers, which we're not really sure about, that she's bringing in Gabriel Byrne.
You got over here. So why couldn't he make it over there? Or for that matter, why couldn't I? You could help me.
There'll be no crossovers while I'm around.
I've got news for you, pal. I am not your ordinary doodle. I've been checking up on what these noid dames have got going in the real world, and I want it.
it seems like the Gabriel Byrne scenario has been going on and off. You know, like
And where were those guys coming from? And why were they there?
Gabriel Byrne seems to be able to... Okay, now, again, these are rules I decided for myself because I just needed them.
You set out like just a book of rules for every movie you watch?
Yeah. I write a rule book, and you know, someday I'll publish them all. Yep.
Just so you can get through the enjoyment of the movie.
Yeah.
But this movie does require you to make a couple of decisions for yourself, because I wrote down a few times here, I don't even know what to write.
Yeah.
You're in a world where you're like, no one's leading me by the hand.
I rewound. There was a couple of times where it moved to a different scene, and I was like, oh, whoa, wait a minute. What was I supposed to learn from that previous scene? And I would rewind it, rewatch that scene, and be like, oh, I don't know. I don't know why Nails getting trapped in the fountain pen is like dangerous.
Yes.
I don't know.
Well, I was
again, the
what
rules,
is that
like,
pen?
Somehow the existence of free floating ink is dangerous. Is like a threat.
Well, because to me, I always thought the idea was that they could be erased.
Paul, you're holding a pen up right now on Zoom, and I don't know if that's a threat or not.
But well, are you a doodle? If you're a doodle. But at one point, Brad Pitt takes his pen out and goes, "This is a weapon here." Then he shoots ink into Nails' liquor cup, and he drinks it, and nothing seems to happen.
Who are you? Who are you? I didn't create you.
No shit, Sherlock. What'd you do with this, dude?
I'm a cartoonist. I drew all this. I have visions.
This place exists with or without you. You believe me, right? I'm not one of your creations.
No, you're not pretty enough.
Good one. Ordinary fountain pen, right?
Yeah.
Wrong. Around here, sit down. Around here, this can be a big nuisance. You thirsty, Nails? Get it? One should be careful how they wave this thing.
No, I don't get it.
Of course you don't get it, because you're a wackadoo. And around here, everything goes. Everything except one thing.
Yeah, what?
Noids do not have sex with doodles. Right? Noids do not have sex with doodles. You think she's got a thing for you, don't you? That's sweet. But don't flatter yourself. She's a waste of ink.
Oh, yeah?
Truth is, she's been after me and every other Noid who's come through here. It's just that no one's been insane enough to get involved with her. You keep your pencil in your pocket. You know what I mean?
Okay, So
Okay.
you guys know, right? Okay. We all grew up, I'm sure, watching Looney Tunes cartoons.
Yes.
You know the episodes, every once in a while there would be an episode where the animator, where Bugs would talk to, or Daffy Duck would talk to the animator. And
You'd see
the
the hands.
animator's hand would come in and erase Daffy Duck's beak so he couldn't talk anymore. Or would the hand
Right.
and the pencil would come in and fuck with the drawing, right? And it would
Yes.
break the fourth wall of animation to presume someone else is controlling us. We do not have free will, right? We are not
Right.
we are not characters that exist. We are the mouthpieces of this godlike other hand, right?
It's not a Space Jam world where these characters are shooting their own TV shows
Right.
and acting.
So
And yes.
what I expected was Gabriel Byrne would be that character,
Yes.
and he even says to Holli Would at one point, "Can I erase you?" or "I can erase you." Like he makes a threat almost,
Yeah.
like "I can erase you," which confused me because I was like, "Oh, is that?" Because that's a story I can get on board for. You know, the creator of a world gets sucked into it and has to, you know, through his knowledge of the world he created, figure out either how to get out, how to make the world better, whatever. But Brad Pitt's presence really fucks that whole thing all up because it appears as though it's Brad Pitt's movie, not Gabriel Byrne's movie. And that's when I couldn't figure out who are the gangsters working for. Why is it like a classic 1940s noir with a femme fatale and the bad guys and the cops chasing after them and the dames and all
It
the lingo?
felt honestly like somebody took, and I know that this is like probably a hacky thing to say, but like someone took the beginning part of one script and then another part of the script and just kind of merged them together because the first 15 minutes don't mesh. You're introduced to something and then they reset the entire table again. You should just start in prison with him drawing her. She reaches out and we're in. Like, I don't even think we really even need the Brad Pitt character because even at the end, the Brad Pitt character doesn't serve to save the day or just stop anything.
Brad Pitt's character has no arc, period.
No arc. He is not a hero. He is just along for the ride. There is nothing that he does. The only story point that we get, and spoiler alert, is that he becomes a cartoon at the end. I mean, that's it.
It's interesting. Gabriel Byrne and Brad Pitt are redundant.
Yes.
They're redundant characters because they are both on some kind of a journey, but not. But Gabriel Byrne is the only one who has real power and agency. You know what I mean? He's the only one who can change it because he created it in a weird way. But why doesn't he know Brad Pitt is there? Is what I couldn't figure out.
I mean, here's the thing. I connected more to Brad Pitt's journey because I did feel like, okay, here's this guy who's suffering from PTSD and is trying to honestly accept reality as it is, that he is both not in the war and that a terrible thing has happened. And I don't know if you get, like, I know what Doc What's-His-Face says in the beginning, but it did seem like the fact that he was so disoriented made him more and so unable to like figure out what was real and what wasn't, and still in such trauma over the war and what he had seen, made him more susceptible to being like sucked into this doodle world. Like there was something about his brain and the way what was happening with his mental health, which made him a prime candidate.
But do you think his mental health? I don't think his mental health was off until he was violently thrust off that motorcycle, because he seemed to have come home from the war perfectly happy. He was wearing that brand new suit. He had gotten that new motorcycle. He seemed happy-go-lucky, unfazed by the war that he just fought. Only in that moment did his brain get a little bit jostled. Like I see what you're saying, and
well,
I appreciate.
maybe that's true. That maybe it was just triggered by him being, in this terrible accident. But either way, it did seem like there was this, that he was primed to get sucked into the doodle world. But what I did like about his journey was it did seem at the end like, I don't know that he didn't have a purpose. Like I kind of thought he went back to the real world to die there, to become a doodle. Like, he knew going in, yes, I'm going to try to save the universe, but I'm ultimately going to sacrifice my body and die so that I can become a doodle.
Why would he want to even save Cool World? Like, what is there? Just a hiding spot for him? I mean,
what is the threat?
That lovely woman.
What is the threat that Cool World and Real World will just, because what happens is, once Gabriel Byrne fucks the cartoon, like, so the one rule of Cool World is noids, which is what, like, humanoid, I guess is what it is.
Right.
Humans cannot have sex with doodles, period. Like, that is the one enforced rule.
But there's only one human in Cool World, and that's Brad Pitt, who is abiding by that law to a degree.
Now, let me ask you this.
Yeah.
I mean, that is the one thing he can do in his job description, and he's the only one that could possibly break that law.
Now, does the law, so that begs the question, why does the law exist?
Right.
Something must have happened. I mean, there were doodles before. I think they probably got really close.
Were there
to
noids
having
before?
sex.
Well, let's
yes,
talk
there
about
were.
the spike. Because the spike is a children's story that they tell the doodles about a doodle that escaped to the real world and put a spike in the top of a Vegas casino. And if you take out the spike, you're essentially taking the plug out of the inkwell. I mean, I don't even really venture to go there.
It's fucking bananas.
Isn't that Doc Whiskers?
Did Doc Whiskers?
Doc Whiskers.
Isn't
He
that
did
Doc
that?
Whiskers
The
who
child?
escaped
No.
into Vegas?
Oh, I thought
And
it was somebody else.
created
Because
the
Doc
spike?
Whiskers. No, because Doc Whiskers said, I tried to touch the spike, but it was too powerful for me. And then she says, get out of here, dummy. I'll do it.
No, at the very beginning, Doc Whiskers has the spike, right?
Oh.
And he's using it to open the portal to Toon World.
Whoa. I
See,
missed
Jason, while that was happening, I was just screaming.
Yeah.
that.
I was just screaming uncontrollably.
And I was writing, why does the spike look like sperm?
It does. It is
When
an
I
odd looking
saw Brad
spike.
Pitt, when I saw those cartoons show up, I just started screaming. And
I mean,
so I missed that whole
Well,
scene.
you thought June, like what I love about this show is I get to watch many a film with June, and she never knows what she's in store for. She is going in completely blind. So when June starts watching this movie, I think you're thinking it's a 1940s
Of course I
military man come home movie. And so for you to have that pure reaction that you didn't even understand that cartoons were in it was one of the most joyous experiences I've ever had in my life.
See Doc Whiskers. Can you even imagine? Jason, were you aware there were cartoons in this?
I did. I was. Yeah. I knew
Okay.
this to be.
Please, no, I didn't see any artwork.
Yeah.
All of a sudden.
No. This must have been very unsettling.
It was.
And
I mean-
I've never seen this movie before. And frankly, I've never seen Who Framed Roger Rabbit before.
Oh, really?
Which
Oh,
is
you
interesting.
gotta watch
yeah.
that.
So,
It's a great
and
movie.
I kept when I was watching this being like, oh, I'm annoyed that I've never seen. I'm annoyed, first of all.
Mhm.
I just want to establish I am annoyed. But I'm annoyed
You are
because
annoyed.
I haven't seen Who Framed Roger Rabbit, and I feel like a bunch of us conversation-wise will be drawing comparisons, and I was like, fuck, I'm going to be out on that. But I knew this to be a cartoon world, but that it was, the thing that I did remember about it was that it was dirty. Like the story
Right.
around
Okay.
this when it came out was that it was dirty.
This came out prime Blockbuster time for me when I was working at Blockbuster, and I never rented it, but it seemed like, ooh, this is going to be like the dirty Who Framed Roger Rabbit, although I never reached out to get it. I just think that we're trying to explain so much, and the simple version of the film, and I think it's actually a really great idea, is like a creator being trapped within his creation. I mean, there was a John Candy movie, I think called Delirious, that was like that. Like he was a soap opera writer who gets like sucked into his own soap opera, and he's going to write his way out of it. I think Stranger Than Fiction has an element of that. Like, but like that's the simple way in. The comic book writer.
The idea that not only that, but what's even so much more compelling about it, which I think is such a great starting point, is a man like, let's maybe, and I don't, again, because we don't get into the murder and all the rest of it, but like a man, an imprisoned man who falls in love with the woman he's drawing.
Amazing.
And that is the only way he can escape is into this fantasy world. There's something quite compelling about that. Like, and I will say, as we sit right now, many people stuck in small places, stuck in quarantining, prison-like conditions, I can imagine a world of wish fulfillment, of wishing to be elsewhere, a world in which there are no rules, a world in which there is chaos, a world, any of that. Like I understand that.
But yet when he gets there, he seemingly is like in awe of it, not like, oh, I know that this door opens up into this thing.
Yes.
Like it seems like he's a visitor in this world. He doesn't seem like he has any.
It feels like the first time he gets sucked in is the first time he gets sucked in.
Right. You lose even the fun of the master is now in the world.
That's what I don't get. You know, like that's why I feel like if the movie had been about Gabriel Byrne's character and his like discomfort with wanting to have this love with Holli Would, but the knowledge that to do so would potentially collapse both of their worlds, that's a movie. Like unrequited love.
But this is what I don't understand. Why make him a murderer?
Don't know.
It doesn't.
Yeah.
Why?
Why not make his wife dead? His wife dead, and they both dealing with grief. These two men did the one with his wife, one with his mother, and they both are looking for an escape, and they switch spots. There's so many parallels.
They're both murderers, but we're coded. We're coded to tell us Brad Pitt wearing gray, which is like the hero's color scheme, and Gabriel Byrne only wearing black suits, a black jumpsuit in prison and black suits on the outside. Like he is meant to be the bad guy. And what I don't understand is why they don't seem opposed. They're not at odds. They are not like, it doesn't make sense to me.
The only thing that they're against is Brad Pitt's like, don't fuck the person that you want to have sex with. But he doesn't abide by that rule.
Paul, the doodle.
The doodle. Yeah, sorry, you're right. Sorry, I didn't mean to say that, and I apologize to anyone else. Yes, the doodle.
Any doodles out there?
Sorry to doodles. But I also feel like Kim Basinger's character, Holli Would, and Holli Would if she could, and she did, which I think was the tagline of the movie, is that when she gets into the real world, she starts acting like a child, but she's very manipulative and she's living it's seemingly a very rich life in Cool World. Like, it's not like, oh, I've never touched anything before. It's like, you're in that world. Like, what?
My stepmother is an alien. She's acting as if everything is brand new to her.
Right.
And I understand that everything is tactile.
I mean, there's a lot that's new. She was two-dimensional before.
Well, yes, she was, but here's what I don't understand.
What? Yes, she was. She was a drawing.
Of course.
Yeah, but she's in a world of drawing.
Why was she able to, for example, this is where it broke down for me, where I was really like, I don't get the rules. I understand.
Did you throw your book out the window? Book went out the window.
Book went out the window. Guess what? I'm rewriting the rules. If it's like two-dimensional world, fine. And it is characters who yearn to be real. Right? Okay. But so when Gabriel Byrne falls in, or Brad Pitt, I can't remember what it is, someone burns him with a cigarette. So there is the ability for them to have there's causality in their actions and reactions. Like, they are not, when he goes to touch her, he is able to physically touch her. He is able to be burned by her cigarette.
Right.
It's not like they exist. It's not like he is three-dimensional and they are two-dimensional. It is.
Brad Pitt cups his girlfriend's face. Like he puts his arm around his girlfriend. He's in a car that's 3-dimensional and then sometimes 2-dimensional. Like it seems like everything is working.
Why in Cool World are some settings and cars practical real life cars, not drawings of cars? That's
this is where I think the Roger Rabbit comparison is really the only one to talk about, where you say the rules were very clean and clear. This is what happens. This is the world. Like here, it's a junk drawer of animation. Everything is happening to the point that it just feels like they're just like dump more shit into every frame. It's just a mess. It's a mess of things, styles,
how does Brad Pitt
attitudes.
know you can't fuck a doodle?
Why is he there? Like, why is
How does he know that? Did his boss tell him? Has there been evidence of it before? Like, did he do it once and it went poorly? Because here's the reality. Brad Pitt's character has a girlfriend who wants to fuck. And they can kiss and they can do other stuff, I guess. But they
can't kiss.
They do kiss.
They said they can get they say they can get close to it. Yeah.
Kiss.
They do. They kiss on the mouth.
Yeah. I thought that they like watch each other and masturbate or something, because like she's like, we can do something.
They definitely do that.
They are for sure mutual masturbating. They are for sure doing hand and mouth stuff, but like, and probably finger stuff, which is,
I don't think they're doing that.
But like sex makes it like a magic trick that you can then go to the real world, I guess. But I don't know.
Well, no, then you become real. But like, but if she becomes real, like, is she manipulating Gabriel Byrne this entire time? Does she just want to become real, or does she love Gabriel Byrne?
Of course,
because
Paul, she's manipulating him.
But why?
To become real.
Because I think it's like a Pinocchio.
Lady.
I think she wants to become a real girl.
But she doesn't like have any feelings for this person who created her. Like,
no, she's like, get me. Yeah, no, she just wants.
She just knows that he's a sucker that will fuck her.
Because when she gets to the real world, she's like, men, look at all these men. And she wants to smell them. And she wants. And is that Frank Sinatra Jr.? She's like, let's make love.
It is.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, she said I can have sex with any man in this room or something. But then also in that scene, she starts reverting back to her cartoon shape, but it's a different cartoon shape.
Well, they both start having like fits or spasms of cartoon, of tune stuff. Like they both like suddenly Gabriel Byrne's hands are big giant like toon hands or whatever. Like they're having like
toon episodes.
Yeah, like they're having like toon seizures and coming.
But I get that. But why is she turning into a different tune? Wouldn't she just turn into her own tune again? She's in a different body.
I actually liked that cartoon, that doodle that she was turning into. I thought it was really funny. I just think it almost felt to me like whatever that doodle was an earlier version of Holli Would.
Okay.
Oh, interesting. I thought it was just, I thought it was because they had broken the barrier, like toon shit was just like happening to them, like freeform toon stuff. Like it was out of control, basically. And that's why when more toon stuff starts happening, Las Vegas starts to become, people at slot machines start turning into wolf toon character. And what I did like, I know like this movie, I want to be very clear, is not good and it is incredibly difficult to make sense out of.
Yes.
But I found a lot of the animation stuff, a lot of the animated chaos fun. Like when Las Vegas is overrun by chaotic toon characters, like that stuff was, I enjoyed that. Like it was like, I enjoyed the kind of, because that to me, I was like, this I get, this is chaos. This is Toon World invading Vegas. Got it. Okay.
But my thought about that is, if Toon World invades Vegas, then it just becomes Cool World.
Right.
So why would you want to create another Cool World?
Oh, I think this is akin to a multiverse story. and that,
Okay.
or, you know, and that if you once you start, if you travel between multiverses and if you go in, it's this like, you know, Rick Remender's Black Science, or any number of you know, multiverse specific comics or anything like this. When you're talking about going between things, the effects are catastrophic on both ends, right? Like,
Right. So she doesn't intend to create another Toon World, but she does want to get the spike. For what reason? Maybe just to become permanently real?
that's maybe to destroy it, so that, like, is she trying to destroy the spike so that she can just be now, so that nobody can come get her and bring her back?
But I think part of it is I want to become real, but she is real. I don't know, and it bothers me that it's so.
Yeah, it bothers me too. It bothers me too.
Here's the thing about Cool World that is very true. And it's also true for alternative comics at the time. Cool World is like sexual depravity. Like, it is a world of lasciviousness. Like it is like the world that existed in the kind of in the alt comic worlds of like the 70s and 80s. Like I'm talking like, you know, Crumb and all the stuff that was beyond was a lot of like sexual lasciviousness, creating animated and cool, not cool, but the animated Cool World aesthetic felt to me like those 70s, 80s erotically charged, lascivious, like cartoon, like I'm trying to think of a couple of Fritz the Cat, Heavy Metal, all have this kind of stuff as a part of it. And
I do like that. I like that idea, like that is a merging of so many styles. Like there's like a Frank Frazetta kind of images in the background. Then there are like simple Looney Tune images. She's a little bit more of like a modern day like cartoon character. Like there's so many different things. And then when Gabriel Byrne, and we haven't even talked about this, and this will be, you know, we're getting towards the end here. When Gabriel Byrne turns into a superhero, that kind of looks like a traditional like
Shazam. He looks
Shazam.
He looks like he looks like he's basically got Shazam's color scheme.
And he looked like Gaston from The Beauty and the Beast.
But why would he transform so crazily into that character that has nothing that looks like him?
And
I mean,
also,
like, is that what he's always wanted to be?
Cool World doesn't seem to have superhero archetypes. You know what I mean? It isn't like a cool. It is like a seedy underworld. Like it's gangsters and she, you know, like Holli Would seems to be like a gangster's mall, and like everything. The archetypes are 30s and 40s gangster movies. They're not like superhero stories. They're not Silver Age DC superhero world they find themselves in. They find themselves in what looks like a noir. It looks like a femme fatale setting up a dupe to kind of get one over on him. It's more like a film noir in its kind of setup. She's just using Gabriel Byrne as leverage to get into the real world, like that, you know, blah, blah, blah. All the kind of, and the cops are corrupt and everything. Nobody's seen, none of it seems, though, I'm grasping at all of the kind of little things to try and make order out of it. But there really is no goal. There's no stakes.
No.
There's no protagonist, there's no antagonist, and there are no set rules. So it's just a matter of visual stuff and hunky Brad Pitt, I think.
I think that they thought they could get away with, what if we just made a movie where Jessica Rabbit was more sexual? And at the end of the day, that's what they decided that they would commit to, because this is a movie that, like I said, it was pitched as this very simple idea about basically an estranged daughter trying to kill her father, that then the script is given to somebody else and they rewrite it, then it's given to somebody else. It was supposed to be a horror film, then it became a comedy film, and then it went from R to PG-13. Brad Pitt switched roles. Brad Pitt was supposed to be the creator of Cool World, the comic book artist, and Gabriel Byrne was supposed to be the detective, and they switched. Then Drew Barrymore dropped out, and then Kim Basinger came in. Then Kim Basinger decided to switch, and then Frank Bashke came to set and punched the producer in the mouth. Like, this movie was plagued from start to finish. Like, the backstory of this movie is insane, and it's a mess. And I think that what we're reacting to is some editor was in a room going like, I think this kind of can make sense a little bit, because also it feels like the animation is done in a vacuum where it's like, I don't even think Kim Basinger is basing her performance on the what she does in animation in a real world. I feel like that's two separate performances.
Well, that's the thing is in Cool World, she is clearly in command and in control. She's playing everybody. She's the smartest person in any room. She is, without a shadow of a doubt, she is also like the one of the most famous people. She's this icon. She is the iconography of Cool World, really.
Yeah.
She is it, right? So it's such a powerful character that when she gets to the real world and instead it becomes more like My Stepmother is an Alien, as if everything is like Discovery, brand new. It takes away some of her. She is so often the driving engine in Cool World because it's what she wants that we're seeking. Yeah. And that when we come into the real world, all that slows down and it becomes really just like, I'm not sure what's going on. You know, like, I'm not sure what the goal is.
I mean, I imagine if we had given her another week or two to just like sit in her body and just experience like the basic functions of a body, you know, she might gain some of her confidence and power back.
But June, what do you think? But do you think that is that different from being 2-dimensional and 3-dimensional? Because she's seducing him like she would seduce, like, as a 3-dimensional character. She just seems so like, she seems like that scene where the neighbors come over.
I think she's having a hell of a time being a real person and is just enjoying it. And I think we're seeing her kind of on vacation where she's like got the things she's always wanted. So yes, she is a bit different and she's not as, but I genuinely enjoyed that part of the movie because I thought it was just fun, at least. And the rest of the movie was so grim to me. And so with all these doodles, like, it was not, I did not want to be in that doodle world. I did not like it. I didn't like seeing those things flying by. Like, it was all so unsettling to me.
By the way, when they go to Vegas, also disgusting. Like, it's the only time I've ever seen Vegas in a movie that looks like Vegas in real life. It's just like,
yeah,
dark, it's dim. It was not aspirational. It was not like, wow. It was a real gross point of view of Vegas. It was like, not good.
The movie itself, it has like darkness within it. You know what I mean? Like, the movie itself is not pleasant. You know, like, there are no heroes to root for. Like, everybody has done and behaved reprehensibly, you know, in some way, shape, or form, or feels they have, you know. No, and maybe that's part of it, but it was really, I don't know, man. It was tough to watch, but I will say, and again, I am just catastrophically lonely. I really was like, I would like to hang out with that animated Holli Would. Like, she's looking great. But
she's the villain, Jason. She's the villain. She wouldn't want you. She'd use you. She is the negative person at the end. But that's the point of a femme fatale.
You want to fall for the femme fatale. That's why the femme fatale is successful in leading the leading man down the road to disaster and ruin. That's what's great about a noir, you know, is she
believe me, I know. As we talk about that on Unspooled all the time.
What's that?
Okay.
So we talk about that on Unspooled all the time.
You
know?
guys, have you guys wrapped that up now that the COVID has hit?
No, it's actually going real strong. We're doing live shows. We're really getting it out there. We're really having so much fun. Just kind of breaking down these archetypes. Yeah,
it's good to know
really
you're
a lot of fun.
Pouring a lot of energy and effort into doing Unspooled. That's cool.
Yeah, we got to get a lot of guests. It's hard to get guests for, in the quarantine, but we're just really trying to get we're trying to get cool guests in the show, and that's really what
it's
goal
hard
is.
To get. Well, I mean, June and I are right here.
Sure. All right, let's move on. Let's move on right now and
literally
continue here.
Away.
So obviously we had opinions about this movie, but there are people out there with a different opinion. It is now time for second opinions.
The movie was a piece of shit, yet this person recommends it. Tell me, what is the message? Maybe that art is subjective. I need a second opinion.
All right, so guys, these are 5-star reviews culled from Amazon.com. The average rating of this movie is 4.3 out of 5 stars. There are 412 total reviews. 67% are 5-star reviews. Only 9% are 1-star reviews. Andrew Cisnell in 2019 writes, ahead of its time, I've never seen anything like it. This is why life is worth living. All men. 5 stars. Don't know what that means.
Oh, man.
That all men, I guess maybe like this is why we'd all love to have someone like Kim Basinger. I guess that's the point, I think. All right. This one from Destoy777 from 2015 writes this. Brad Pitt is hilariously young. 5 stars. Very low bar for the 5 stars. And there are some really interesting ones in here. This one is a lot of these. Douglas Helvey, my daughter loves Cool World. Jeannie M. Rasmus, my daughter was looking for Cool World. I forgot it existed. I bought it. It's perfect. And then I wanted to read this final one for you here. This is a little bit longer, but it's kind of great. It's from JC. It was written in 2003, and it goes like this. The title, Cool World, is meant to be a sarcastic quotation. Holly seems to portray evil in the most appealing way. There's a lot of evil going on in the background and foreground of this film throughout. Temptation, I believe, is the main subject, but there are other subjects tackled in the movie as well. If you have only seen this movie once, it deserves a second look. And if you still don't get the message, then I can only say that Cool World is a reflection of the people who really are. And it's ironic that so many people seem to hate this film. You simply can't compare this to Who Framed. That movie was a typical Disney flick. Cool World is a satire of our society. 5 stars. There's one line I didn't put in because I didn't know how to get it in here, but this great world, it goes, this great line, Cool World is a complex film, and it was written as a puzzle for people to figure out later on.
Wow. I think that
5 stars.
I do think you can look at Cool World, and I'm sure the writer somehow, this was the writer's like, ha ha ha. I do think Cool World / it's not for nothing. Her name is Holli Would. I think Cool World and, Holli Would are supposed to be like, Hollywood, Los Angeles. Like, I think it's supposed to be. It
should have been Los Angeles instead of Vegas, though.
Exactly. I think it's meant to be a place of avarice and vice. Like, it is where you push down all of your grossest urges and desires, because that seems to be what the people of Cool World concern them. Everybody in Cool World is a bad guy. Everybody is a villain. Everybody is a crime boss. In Cool World, you never go to like a light venue. You never go to like a pleasant place. All of Cool World is seedy and gross and dangerous, and people are duplicitous and liars, and nobody can be trusted. I don't get it. Like, I don't understand what the movie is trying to show me about humanity or about ourselves. I don't know what it's meant to show me about relationships. I don't know what its message or theme. I don't know what the theme of this movie is.
Well, I mean, do you think that we should listen to JC and like watch it a couple more times and see if we can unpack it?
Here's
Gina,
one thing I will say, and I'm very, very reluctant to say this. I don't want to say this, but
oh no.
This movie is as close to a Jacob's Ladder scenario as I've seen in a very long time. You know, guy gets hit in the first scene on a motorcycle. He first goes into wartime flashbacks, and then as he's dying, this cartoon thing that he's aware of, this comic book or whatever, he just
I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
Is he dying though? Is he dying?
He could have been. I mean, he was hit. I mean, he was hit head on with like a Studebaker.
His mom
dies, but he doesn't look like he is sustained. He's talking. He's conscious. He like gets over to her. He doesn't look like he is sustained, like devastating.
I agree, but we might.
But the mom only has a little bit of blood coming out.
And
the mom only has a little bit of blood coming out.
But like, I'm also saying he's mentally fractured.
Yes.
You know, like maybe it's not a Jacob's Ladder scenario. Maybe how about this? If they pulled back at the end and he was like in a mental institution just drooling on himself, and the Cool World comic book was in his lap, would you be like, that's what this all was?
Yes,
sure.
But by the way, here's a better version of this story. I don't know if either of you remember. There's a TV show back when I was a kid called Amazing Stories. They just kind of came out with it again on Apple TV. But there's a great episode about like a World War I or World War II pilot. They're in a bomber, and he's an animator or an illustrator, and they're under attack, and he starts drawing like a wheel for the plane, a cartoon wheel, and it becomes real, and he actually saves the day. Like the plane lands like on this cartoon wheel. Like he's able to like take his drawing into the real world. And I think the problem with this movie is we are introduced to a lead character, like that opening scene. Like if he's been getting through the war by making these comics, great. Like if he's the original artist, if he's the Stan Lee, and then Gabriel Byrne took over after he died.
Knew that he read comics.
Sure.
Yes.
Like let's see him
some connection.
Let's see him first in a foxhole. Everything's going crazy around him, and the only thing he's clutching is that comic. And then
listen, if we knew his mom read comics, waiting for him to come home.
So many ways to go, but I guess the question that only matters is, would you recommend it? Jason, I'll let you go first. Would you recommend this film?
You know, yeah, I'm gonna say yes. I mean, it's a fucking weird movie. It's a weird...
You did a 180 there. Early on, you said you wouldn't, and now you've come back. Like, I think that this conversation, maybe it is a puzzle that we're unlocking.
I would. I mean, like, this is, I think, it is. Listen, if you've listened to the podcast and you've gotten to this point and are waiting to decide whether to watch it, I think you'll know what you're in for. So I say, yes, watch it. Because I think there's a ton of...
And then that's on you.
Yes, that's on you. I think because there are huge problems with it structurally. Huge. It really is a confounding jumble of nonsense. But within that, I think there is some incredible Ralph Bakshi art. I think there is some incredible animation. I think there is really fun, weird side characters, side bits of physical comedy in the cartoon world that are fun and interesting to watch. Like, I was still drawn to watch it. It wasn't, it was annoying me because it was confusing and needlessly so, but I would recommend watching it for its, look, there are not many movies that do this. You know, there are not many movies that attempt this.
Big swing.
This is, without question, a failure. In no way is this a success, but there's something about it that if your expectations are this is going to be a mess, but there's interesting stuff in it, then I always think, listen, I will say, watch Ralph Bakshi's The Lord of the Rings. It's unbelievable.
So interesting.
You know what I mean? It's like this is a master at work. So it might not be a good movie, but there is somebody incredible doing stuff in it. That being said, it's bad. It's a bad movie. It's not worth it. And if you are watching it and are like, I don't understand what Jason's talking about, I hate this, please feel free to turn it off.
June?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's something to see. It's something to rest your eyeballs on. And that's kind of it. So for me, I don't care for animation. I've never connected to it. I just don't. Again, I love Two Framed Roger Rabbit, but I'm not going to watch something for the animation. And so I just nothing dazzled me in that world. I loved the transformation of Holli Would into a real person. And I liked her I liked her performance. And I thought there were some really fun moments when she became a human, but that's kind of it. It's a bunch of gobbledygook and doesn't add up to anything. Again, I can't impress upon the audience enough. Just watch the first 20 minutes after listening to this podcast and just think about what I went through having no context for what was about to happen.
And also watch the first 20 minutes and realize how little you understand what's going on.
Yes.
You know, like I was a full 40 minutes in and I was still like, what's going on? What story are they trying to tell?
Yeah. Maybe we're telling you, if you watch this movie, know that it's kind of hard to wrap your head around so you can enjoy it and you can really kind of parse it out. Like, you're not dumb for not getting it. We've
let
just
it wash over you.
You know,
yeah,
this
let
might
it wash
be
over
one
you.
of those movies that's a good, like, stoned watch.
Oh,
where,
yeah.
where
absolutely.
just the visuals are delightful and funny and weird and crazy, and you don't need to worry about the story, because that's, I don't know, that's kind of what I feel like would be the satisfying part, is the cool world, all the nonsense of the cool world, like that. Like, I loved, you know, like, it scratched a lot of my animation itches, like, I don't know, that seems like a bad building. And they pan up and the building is like this huge circular tower. And I was like, yeah, I like that. I like dumb jokes like this, you know, like that are fun, you know?
You know what I wish they had done?
Yeah, but the movie is just like, tough stuff-a-roni.
You know what I wish they had done? I wish they had more fun with, like, the dimensions of people. Like, I wish Holli Would was either a lot taller than the humans or, like, kind of little. You know, I feel like there were opportunities to just have more fun with humans being in that world, and then conversely, doodles being in the real world. Those opportunities were missed.
I'm going to put it down on my list of definitely watch it, because very rarely on this show am I this confounded or this kind of like, wait, what? And there is a joy in the amount that we have done this show to feel that, like, to feel it nonstop for the hour and 45 minutes. It really continues to turn a screw of confusion that I found it to be a unique film that I think is above the fray and how crazy it is.
You know what?
So
that's
3 across the board.
The movies that I feel like I find that I would not recommend are movies that just do the thing and then it's all lateral moves from there. It's all just more of the same, and it's like, who cares? Boring, right? This movie does not do that. It changes the game and the rules every couple of minutes so that it really keeps you engaged, but infuriatingly confused.
I talked about how this movie had, like, very difficult, like, production issues, but the final straw was the promotion of this movie. The studio literally placed Holli Would, the character, on the Holli Would sign. Like, they built an extension on the Holli Would sign with her, and she's giant. She is as big as the D in Hollywood, and she is sitting on the D, and people freaked the fuck out. Like, that has never been done before. Like, and I've seen some pictures of it. You can Google a picture of Holli Would on the Hollywood sign. People were angry. This movie angered people on every single level. I joked before about the tagline, which I did know, but I will read it to you. The tagline of the movie is Holli Would if she could, and she will. That's the tagline. And the movie, the budget was $30 million. And it grossed $14 million. And I think with that, it's a perfect way to end and say, Jason, June, anything you guys want to plug?
June, anything?
No, I just want to say again, thank you to all of the nurses and doctors and everyone who's out there working hard at taking care of people right now, especially in the healthcare industry. I'm just so appreciative. That's all.
I think there's a lot of great, I will echo June's sentiment, especially to the medical professionals, the first responders, people who are out there on the front lines of this, absolute catastrophic nightmare that we find ourselves in. Thank you. You're doing absolutely, incredible work under unbelievable duress and in a scenario in which we find ourselves on a ship that appears to be leaderless and without any rules. Thank you to people who are trying to make sense of what is going on. And the more that we can provide any solace, distraction, the more that we can, through putting out podcasts or consuming things or whatever, pointing you towards things that can provide some sense of relief. Like, I know we've been hearing from people who are like grateful for the ability to kind of tune out the nightmare and the world and the news and just have a bit of fun and a bit of levity with the I know I feel it when I see new episodes of my favorite podcasts pop up. So hopefully we are that for you guys. We're happy to be here, and I'm glad that we are still doing it. It makes me happy to see you guys on Zoom and talk to you guys about dumb movies that it might seem trivial or silly in this time, but I know there's thousands and thousands of people out there who, when they see our podcast pop up in their podcast app, know that they are excited to have this time with us. And I am grateful for you guys. And I hope that, especially those of you out there who are working in those dangerous fields and are on the front lines of this, I hope that you guys are enjoying these episodes and know that we appreciate you.
Well put, Jason.
And I'll just kind of continue this pass along of supporting all these amazing people. I also just want to give a shout out to all the delivery drivers, the people that are waiting in lines in supermarkets to do your supermarket shopping for you, or to go to your Target, or working in your favorite restaurant so it doesn't close. And, the people that are working on the front lines of, for lack of a better term, comfort. Like, there are so many people that are out there that are doing so much. And from FedEx drivers to delivery people and mail workers and everything like that. I want to give a huge shout out to them. And they're spending a lot of time in their cars, and I've talked to so many of them about having this on with them. And so I really appreciate that. And I know for me, small businesses are really important. I really want to make sure that if you're in your community, we're trying to help, whether that's ordering in a meal once a week, or if that's supporting your local comic book shop, which is actually something that I've been doing with my new Marvel series that Jason's going to be on. We're just talking about local comic book shops and how you can get out there and support them. These small businesses that surround us that we maybe sometimes take for granted need our help right now. So, I think there's a lot of ways to get in and support our community. And
a lot of these small businesses are really operating in a very dangerous small margin. So they are really under threat. And I think there's also too, a lot, if you are in a position where you are able to give money to places, there are places that need it. Like we did a Big Mouth table read that benefited feedingamerica.org.
Yep.
The Parks and Rec episode that aired last week raised millions of dollars for a couple of different organizations. So like there are, and those things remain up on YouTube. They are things you can watch, an episode of Parks and Rec, a new episode, there are things that you can watch for entertainment's sake, but that are also giving you an opportunity to donate directly to well-vetted, well-sourced charities that need your money.
And by the way, we are also doing that here at How Did This Get Made? We have 2 shirts that are all the proceeds go to Feeding America. That's our Quarantine Buddies shirt and our Gish and Gertz shirt. That's, Annabelle Gish and Jamie Gertz on a shirt designed by Pete, the S-Man Skadace. And we actually saw Annabelle Gish wear a Gish and Gertz shirt. So all that money goes right to Feeding America. But thank you all for, Jason's pulling it out right there.
I've got my Gish and Gertz shirt right here. I'm wearing it.
I love my Gish and Gertz.
I plan on wearing it when we inevitably meet Annabeth Gish and Jamie Gertz.
It's going to be great. It's going to be a great episode. And also, I want to thank everybody here at Earwolf for all their tireless work of putting this show together. Not only the people that work on the show like Avril and Nate and Molly every week, but the people that are literally keeping Earwolf afloat. And that is our producer, Cody, and our engineer, Devin. Our team is absolutely amazing. July, I'm sure everyone is going through a lot of stress, and the way that Earwolf has kind of jumped in and, like what Jason was saying, like continue to produce these podcasts and made it easy for people to produce these podcasts has just been absolutely mind-blowing. So I just want to say a thank you to all of them, essential workers indeed. And we will see you next week on the mini episode. Make sure that you give me a call at 619-PAUL-ASK, 619-PAUL-ASK. You could talk about Cool World. You can explain what I got wrong, or you could just talk about your personal life. I solve problems on that thing. So give us a call, 619-PAUL-ASK. And that will be next week for the mini episode about Cool World. We will see you next episode. Bye for now.